Hi guys, welcome to today's video, and I'll be using two stamp sets by Gina K Designs to create this beautiful sunshine and love card. So this is a very bright and cheerful card which we'll be creating, and it is super duper easy. For that I'm using my favorite stamp set, that's the Enormous Wishes, and I'm using this sentiment from it, and this is the Layered Daisies stamp set, which was a part of the Sunshine and Love stamp TV kit. I'll also be using a couple of inks, and I have placed my cardstock on the Misty, and I'm going to place this sentiment right there. The only thing I need right now is I need a very faint impression of this sentiment so that I have a perfect idea, and that will help me to place my flowers nicely and in a nice arrangement. I'm using black Gina K ink, and I'll be almost dabbing off all the ink from it. I need a very faint impression. So I'll let the stamp sit there so that once the card is done, I'll come back and stamp it with proper jet black ink and heat emboss it. Now I'm going to use the flowers, and I'll stamp the first layer with sweet corn, and I'm going to arrange my cluster which will basically be surrounding the sentiment. So I'm stamping two of the medium-sized flowers. I've also created a mask, and that is going to be helpful once we add the leaves. So I've stamped all the flowers in the first ink, that is sweet corn, and now I'm adding tangerine twist and wild dandelion. So what I'm doing is I'm using both the colors and just blending them directly on the stamp. This is very easy and very quick. This makes it look like a watercolored effect, and comes up really pretty. So mass production is also very easy if you try this, and there is nothing difficult about it. So now I just see through the stamp and stamp it. Clear stamps really help, and Gina K Designs stamp sets are really high quality, and they're wonderful for these kind of techniques. So for the bigger or the medium flower, I'm doing the same thing as well. I'm using both the inks, and I'm going to stamp it right on top. So I will do the same with the other big flower as well, and then I'll mask it, and we will do the leaves. So for the leaves, I have used two green inks which are my absolute favorite. They are the Jelly Bean Green and Fresh Asparagus. I'll be doing the same kind of a thing. I'll be stamping the Jelly Bean Green, and I'll just touch a little fresh asparagus on few of the corners, so as to have a darker effect on the leaves. I really love the leaves in this stamp set, and they are very beautifully designed, and they make the flower cluster look beautiful and fuller. I'm going to stamp the two sizes in these greens, and these lovely greens, Jelly Bean Green and Fresh Asparagus, and I'll place them over the masked image so that it appears as if the leaves are coming from behind the flowers. So this is how I'm going to do the entire setting, and I'll do the same for the bottom cluster as well. So this is a very simple card, and you can use so many other wonderful combinations from the Gina K Designs ink pads, and I, as always, gravitate towards yellows, and today it was no different, and I did the same again. So here the flowers will eventually go at the background, and the sentiment will come forward once we finish it up with the dark color and dark ink, and I'll also add some clear embossing powder on top of it so that it has all that wonderful shine, and the sentiment becomes the focal point of the card. So right now we are just working at the background, I can say, and once everything will be done, it will look just stunning. So now this is the last leaf which I wanted to add, and we are almost done. So I'll remove this mask, and I'll place the cardstock back in the Misty, and as I said, I have left the stamp set placed there so that I can re-stamp it right on top. So when it comes to black ink, I usually like to use my VersaFine Black Onyx ink for sentiments, as it gives me a super sharp impression and a jet black effect. So I will stamp it twice, and then just add a lot of clear embossing powder from Gina K Designs. This is super fine and adds a beautiful glaze on top of the sentiment. So I'll just pour it on this sentiment and heat set it using my heat gun. So this is almost done, and just to take it a step further, I will do something which is absolutely optional, and I'll share that in a bit. So now I'm heat setting the card, and we will adhere it on some black mat, and then I will add it on the beautiful orange cardstock by Gina K Designs, and I really loved it. So that pop of color really makes the card look so much more prettier and put together. So I hope you enjoyed this, and this is where you can stop right away, but I wanted to add a little more dimension in my leaves, and I used my Prismacolor pencils to add more dimension in the leaves. So what you'll see here is the first and the basic card which I just created, and to add that further effect, I am adding some tones of greens on the leaves, and that enhances it even further. So this is almost done, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.